Hello, everyone. I am Queen Lillie. Welcome to my live. This is Life Under Trump, part 158. We have a lot to cover. It's so much going on in the Oval Office, corruption, scandal, Trump being a bully, sicking ice on black and brown people. That is what's going on. So I hope y'all had a wonderful day. I got out and voted today. So I got my sticker on. I always vote. I have been voting since I was 18. As soon as they told us we could vote, when you turn 18, I did it. And that was something that my father instilled in me to always make sure you vote because my ancestors, they fought for us to vote. So I never miss voting. That's something I always do is vote. So I went and voted today. I got my sticker on. Yes, yes, yes. And the person I voted for, I may put her in my magazine, but I'll wait and see. Because I'm actually working on my the summer issue for my magazine, Queen Magazine. So that's what I'm working on. We will be discussing Donald Trump and Elon Musk rat today. So he's going to get a little attention from us today. We're going to be talking about a lot. We're going to take a roll down the history a little bit, discussing Donald Trump. So that's what we're doing today. How y'all doing today? I pray y'all having a victorious, beautiful day. I pray that you are. I'm cleaning the screen to my iPad right now. Hello, King Alan. Hello, Queen Victorious One. How y'all doing? I'm glad you're doing well. Thank you for coming to my live. Also, if you want to support my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers. That's the way to donate to my channel. Because with Google, YouTube, you get paid once a month. That's the 21st through the 26th. It falls on either of those days. So when you're donating, let's say you donate to my Venmo, that will actually go to me now because we only get paid once a month between the 21st and the 26th. And if you donate to my PayPal, that's something I can get today as well. So all of your donations are welcome. Again, you can donate to me through super chats and super stickers, and you could donate to me through my Venmo and my PayPal link in the description box. So we got a lot to cover. As you all know, Trump is pulling America down. Each day that he's in that Oval Office, he is destroying America. And I want to make a public announcement because yesterday evening, one of the MAGA maggots, they like to go in my chat and harass me. They'll go later and go in one of my videos, shorts, lives, whatever, and harass me. Say all kind of crazy things. They tell me I wear weave. This is not my hair. And they say I want to be white, so that's why I wear weave pieces in my head. Honey, I don't have to wear weave pieces. And if somebody does wear weave pieces or wig, they can. But I don't. It's my hair growing from my scalp. So why do y'all think black people can't grow hair? And if a black person want to wear short hair, they can. And if they want to wear that beautiful fro, they can. If they want to wear that beautiful curl hair, they can. Stop telling black people what to do and stop getting in my chat lying on me, saying I'm wearing white people hair, that it's not my hair. You sound foolish. I don't know why y'all got in y'all head that black people can't be beautiful. And we are extremely beautiful. We're not going out getting paper thin lips. Y'all going out getting y'all lips done like us. We're not going out trying to get flat booties. That's not happening. Stop coming in my chat being disrespectful. Because it is my goal to respect you. But when you go low, I go down under your shoe and push you down till you bump your head on the pavement. But I'm not going to hell with you. So Michelle Obama said when they go low, we go high. But Michelle Obama will be very disappointed in me. But lately, I've been doing good. I try my best not to read the negative comments. Every now and then when I get a chance, I glance at the comments because sometimes I'm so busy on a roll trying to give y'all the information within an hour's time. I don't have time to read the comments. And it ain't that I'm being rude. I just don't have time to read the comments because did so much research and collected so much info. Thank you, King Greg. And I collect so much info, I may not have time to read all the comments. And I'm not being rude and ugly. And a lot of y'all know if you send me a super chat, super sticker, I'm definitely going to read your comments. That's the way you can be guaranteed that Queen Lillie will read your comments. Also, if you would like to become a member, there's 2 levels. There's a Ruby's membership, which is $4.99, and the Diamonds membership, which is $9.99. They both come with different packages. One comes with $9.99, has more in the package deal. But if you want to become a member, I welcome you and thank you. Again, if you'd like to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers. Also, my Venmo and my PayPal link is in my description. Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And I want to say hello to all you beautiful kings and queens. Thank you for coming to my live. Uh-oh, hold on, y'all. I don't want to play anybody's music. Because I be having music saved on my iPad too, so it'll mess around and play somebody's music. I don't need that. So I'm gonna share a little something about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm not a fan of hers. So soon as 2026 come, I can vote her out of that. I will be doing it because I'm a vivid voter. I went and voted today here in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't miss an election. Anytime something come in my mail, it can just be a special election. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna use my voting rights, and you shall too. You shall too. So we're gonna this is a little something about Marjorie Taylor Greene, and be sure to subscribe and follow Aaron Partners. Everything that I show you today is fair use and for educational purposes, okay? And great for research purposes.
Breaking news right now, another Republican has admitted to not reading the full budget bill before voting on it. This time, Marjorie Taylor Greene has admitted that she did not know of a certain section in the bill that prohibits AI regulation within states. Marjorie Taylor Greene issued a new statement
saying, Queen, aloha, kitty, hello, hola.
278 and 279 of the big, beautiful budget bill that strips states
Queen?
of the right to make laws or regulate AI for 10 years. I adamantly oppose to this, and it is a violation of states' rights, and I would have voted no if I had known this was in there. Members of Congress, no matter what party they are in, should be required to read the entire piece of legislation they are voting on before they vote on it.
Hello, King Anthony, Santiago.
Just admitted not to reading it, failing to read it, and
hello,
as a result, abdicating her duties as a member of Congress. And yes, the piece of legislation that she's talking about would prohibit AI regulation for 10 years among states. Very dangerous. Spread the word. Follow along for more. We have breaking news right now.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene is now saying that she signed the bill. Oh, hair in my mouth. She voted on the bill without reading it. That doesn't surprise me because Donald Trump doesn't read anything before he signs it. Because anytime they take something to his Oval Office's desk, we see it. Donald Trump doesn't read anything. He'll ask him, what does it say? And then they'll read it to him. That's not good practice. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying that she didn't read it. And if she would have, she may not have voted for it. Because it's things in there that she now says that she wish she had not voted for it. Really, Marjorie Taylor Greene, make your mind up. Do you want to be against Donald Trump or you want to be with him? Because you keep going back and forth, girl, and we're tired. We're tired of you and we're tired of Dunny. You could have did the right thing and not voted for it because you did not read it. Now we're all suffering. So I'm going to show y'all something, and it's about how Trump's big ugly bill helps the wealthy and hurts us, the American people.
Top 20% of Americans, you're going to get roughly a 3.7% increase in your after-tax income, really all from these tax cuts. But if you go all the way to the bottom and everything in between essentially leads you to the bottom, if you're in the bottom 20%, you actually lose $800. Why do you lose $800? You get a very small tax cut, and you get a very large cut in Medicaid and these other benefits that we were just talking about that affects the 20% disproportionately. So this is a highly regressive bill that essentially favors the wealthy, doesn't do much for the middle class, and hurts the poor. If you're in the top 20% of Americans, you're going to get roughly a 3.7% increase in your after-tax income, really all from these tax cuts. But if you go all the way to the bottom and everything in between essentially leads you to the bottom, if you're in the bottom 20%, you actually lose $800. Why do you lose $800? You get a very small tax cut, and you get a very large cut in Medicaid and these other benefits that we were just talking about that affects the 20% disproportionately. So this is a highly regressive bill that essentially favors the wealthy, doesn't do much for the middle class, and hurts the poor. If you're in the top 20% of Americans, you're going to get roughly a 3.7% increase in your after-tax income, really all from these tax cuts. But if you go all the way to the bottom and everything in between essentially leads you to the bottom, if you're in the bottom 20%, you actually lose $800. Why do you lose $800? You get a very small tax cut, and you get a very large cut in Medicaid and these other benefits that we were just talking about that affects the 20% disproportionately. So this is a highly regressive bill that essentially favors the wealthy, doesn't do much for the middle class, and hurts the poor. If you're in the top 20% of Americans, you're going to get roughly.
He explains it perfectly. If you're not in the top 20%, which is oligarchs, it's going to hurt your pocketbook. It's going to hurt your grocery shopping. It's going to hurt your electrical bill. You're going to have a hard time paying bills. So you're only going to get a 20, you're not even in the top 20%. I'm not in there. If you are, then power and glory to you. But it's actually hurting the middle class and the poor. And the poor is suffering more than anybody. And the middle class is slowly becoming the poor. So we're going to talk about a little bit of Elon Musk because, you know, he opened up his business in Memphis, Tennessee. And it's polluting the Black community because he put it in the Black community. And I think he did that on purpose because he has a problem with Black people. One moment, please. So the NAACP demands halt to Elon Musk's Memphis supercomputer. Being the world's richest man doesn't give you the right to pollute Black communities. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Then I'm going to read some more, okay? So this is what I'm talking about. The NAACP demands halt to Elon Musk's new supercomputer business that he put that business plant in the Black communities, and it's causing so much problems. It's polluting the air, causing sickness and illness that can't be cured. So this is the plant, and you see the smoke coming up out of there. Well, I don't know if you can, but the plant is causing so many problems for the air. It's polluting the air, and it is harming Memphis, Tennessee Black neighborhoods.
Days a week. Without them, the data center does not function. What's not in dispute is the fact that they are polluting the air. What people don't know is how much of that pollution is reaching nearby communities. Easter Knox lives 2 miles away. You smelled it.
Yes, Lord.
Right away?
I sure did. Well, you know, after they got situated, I started smelling it.
Knox lives in Boxtown, a mostly Black, low-income neighborhood in South Memphis.
The health department, they need to be ashamed.
Where industry has taken
sometimes they be getting money in their pockets, and the health department may not do anything.
Like breathing issues.
Cancer risks here are 4 times higher than the national average. These are the gas turbines fueling the supercomputer they call Colossus. They emit hazardous pollutants like formaldehyde and nitrogen oxides, according to the manufacturer. Just over this fence, you can see and hear the turbines churning 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Without them, the data center does not function. What's not in dispute is the fact that they are polluting the air. What people don't know is how much of that pollution is reaching nearby communities. Easter Knox lives 2 miles away.
And Elon Musk doesn't care.
The hearing turned into a shouting match. An executive from XAI ducking out a side door. Among their concerns, the company is running the turbines without a permit. But the health department says that's okay for the first year.
Somebody getting a cut.
Officials said there were 15 turbines. Environmental advocates released this third.
Why would the health department say it's okay?
Twice that many active.
As soon as we saw the image, we called like, hey, we had a conversation. What's happening with these additional ones?
So they're not using those?
No, they're in idle mode. in case they are needed.
XAI declined to be interviewed, but tells NBC News it is using pollution minimizing technology and working with public officials
then
to
why do
stop
people getting
relying on
sick
the
in
turbines
Memphis?
by the end of this year. XAI has also pledged to build a water treatment facility for the city.
Elected officials are working.
XAI is already building a second supercomputer nearby, even bigger, that will need even a recent health department hearing turned into.
I'm gonna tell you something. They don't care about black people. Donald Trump does not like black people. Elon Musk does not like black people.
Does not control the use of natural gas turbines, explaining the utility has no control over air quality. He said that responsibility lies with other agencies, such as the Shelby County Health Department, the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, and the Environmental Protection Agency. MLGW has not allowed XAI to operate at least 35 gas turbines. McGowan also claims officials from MLGW did not receive the letter until it was released to the media. Well, MLGW President and CEO Doug McGowan responded by saying the NAACP's claims are baseless, saying the letter shows a lack of understanding of what MLGW does. He stated MLGW does not control the use of natural gas turbines, explaining the utility has no control over air quality. He said that responsibility lies with other agencies, such as the Shelby County Health Department, the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, and the Environmental Protection Agency. MLGW has not allowed XAI to operate at least 35 gas turbines. McGowan also claims officials from MLGW did not receive the letter.
To be honest, I am glad that the NAACP is stepping in because something has to be done. It is not right. And they've done this in a lot of states because they don't care about black people. This is something that's been going on a long, long time. They've been doing this in black communities. They've been doing it. It's nothing new. And they just feel like Elon think he can get away with it because Elon think he can do whatever he want to do because he's a white man. You're a white South African that nobody wants in their country. You're not wanted here in America. South Africa don't want you. Canada don't want you. Nobody wants you, Elon Musk. Only Stephen Miller's wife wants you. And once you realize that you don't give a F, you were just something for her to play with, she ain't gonna want you. Black people have always been put at the bottom of the totem pole. No matter if they got more education than that particular white man, they still put a black person at the bottom. They're putting them at the bottom. They don't care about their needs. Those people was in their neighborhood before Elon Musk put his supercomputer business there, polluting the air. So the White House, Donald Trump is making the White House lawn a golf field. And I'm not playing. I'm going to show you. This is what he did to the White House lawn. Fat Albert is always doing something he got no business doing. Donald Trump is the white Fat Albert. It said Trump appears to be converting the White House lawn into a golf course. Fat Albert, he never failed us. Fat Albert, the orange Fat Albert, never failed us. He always effing up something. Now he's going to F up the White House lawn. I hope it's a sinkhole somewhere. He just fall down in the ground. So, Caroline Lovett, the spokesperson for Donald Trump, the one that looks at him with glee because she looked like she want to get on her knees and put on the knee pads for Donald Trump, but she's married to another old white man. What is his name? He's part of Project 2025 as well. But anyway, she used to be a pageant queen for South Carolina, and she makes South Carolina look bad. She is dumb as a bag of rocks. When y'all hear the answer that she give for a question that about South Africa, etc., now you know why Donald Trump picked her, because he said he loves the uneducated. Oh, hold on.
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
Listen to this dumb answer.
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some
This is
people out
Caroline
there in
Lovett.
our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and
She said they don't got
Iraq,
education in
everywhere,
South
like such
Africa.
as, and I believe that they should. Our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South
They asked her
Africa
how to
and should
locate
help
America
Iraq
on
and
the
Asian
map.
countries, so we will be able to build up our future.
Thank you very much.
She's dumb. That is not what they asked her. They asked this goofball about what do you think is hard to locate America on a map? And I'm gonna play it again so you can hear her answer. Like Donald Trump said, he loved the least educated, and that's why she's his spokesperson. She won't make him look bad because she's not smart either.
Some people out there in our
Hold on, I'm gonna
nation.
start it over because I want y'all to get a really grasp what she's saying.
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is? I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and Iraq, everywhere, like such as, and I believe that they should. Our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa.
Listen to her.
and
You
should
know
help
that
Iraq
voice.
and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future.
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
Have y'all noticed everybody that Donald Trump hires, they're not qualified for the position that they're in the Oval Office doing. She's not qualified to be a spokesperson. She's not. Donald Trump's spokesperson, what was her name? I can't remember her name right now. The black lady with the naturally curly hair. She was overeducated. Overeducated. Look at her resume. This girl, she shouldn't be a spokesperson for the White House. She can't even tell you how to locate America on a map. She went all over the place with her answer. Not smart, just like Donald Trump. Not smart. I wonder what those lips did to get to where she is. Okay, so I agree with the comment that the great President Bush gonna say. The elder Bush, that the first Bush, George Bush. I wasn't a fan of his, but I do like the son because he's funny and he know how to get down with the get down, and he know how to communicate with black people. See, a lot of white people don't know how to communicate with black people, but George Bush, the one that's still alive, he knows how to. He understands the black lingo. That don't mean necessarily he can come to the cookout, but I would invite him to my cookout because I find him funny. And Michelle Obama likes him too. They like brothers and sisters. They get along really well. So I would invite him to my cookout. Yes, I would. So just listen to him, okay?
Parts of Europe have developed an identity crisis. We have seen insolvency, economic stagnation, youth unemployment, anger about immigration, resurgent ethno-nationalism, and deep questions about the meaning and durability of the European Union. America is not immune from these trends. In recent decades, public confidence in our institutions has declined. Our governing class has often been paralyzed in the face of obvious and pressing needs. The American dream of upward mobility seems out of reach for some who feel left behind in a changing economy. Discontent deepened and sharpened partisan conflicts. Bigotry seems emboldened. Our politics seems more vulnerable to conspiracy theories and outright fabrication. There are some signs that the intensity of support for democracy itself has waned, especially among the young.
Hello, King Jonathan Conaway.
Of the Cold War.
I agree with you, King Jonathan Conaway.
On the ruin of entire nations by socialist central planning. Some have called this democratic deconsolidation. Really, it seems to be a combination of weariness, frayed tempers, and forgetfulness. We've seen our discourse degraded by casual cruelty. At times, it could seem like the forces pulling us apart are stronger than the forces binding us together. Argument turns too easily into animosity. Disagreement escalates into dehumanization. Too often we judge other groups by their worst examples, while judging ourselves by our best intentions, forgetting the image of God we should see in each other.
Amen.
We've seen nationalism distorted into nativism, forgotten the dynamism that immigration has always brought to America. We see a fading confidence in the value of free markets and international trade, forgetting that conflict, instability, and poverty follow in the wake of protectionism. We've seen the return of isolationist sentiments, forgetting that American security is directly threatened by the chaos and despair of distant places where threats such as terrorism, infectious disease, criminal gangs, and drug trafficking tend to emerge. In all these ways, we need to recall and recover our own identity. Americans have great advantage. To renew our country, we only need to remember our values. Parts of Europe have developed an identity crisis. We have seen insolvency, economic stagnation, youth unemployment.
We definitely are having economic stagnation. It's not happening to the 20%. Remember the guy showed you the chart? The 20%, that's not us, that's the rich people. I'm not rich, it may be you. But anyway, so we are pretty much stagnant. We don't have a true leader right now to pull us out of the situation. He's enriching him in the 20%. What President Bush is saying, he makes a valuable point. We can't isolate somebody because of their brown skin, and that is what's happening. Donald Trump is isolating, removing brown people because of their skin color, because if they were white, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing. And that's hurting America, hurting the economy. Because without our brown people, we don't have people to clean the hotel rooms. Trust me, the hotels are talking about it. We don't have people, which a lot of them are educated as well. So I'm not going to put them at the bottom of the barrel. No. We don't have people to pick our fruits, vegetables. It's a lot that we don't have to work at Home Depot, because we're missing out on a lot because of Donald Trump's behavior and the hate for Black and brown people. The country is suffering. But what I learned about my beautiful white people, y'all would rather see America suffer the way that it is than to see Black and brown people prosper. And that's why I said there's a genocide in America against Black people. There's a genocide in America against brown people. Black and brown people just want to survive and be happy. But y'all look at us as a threat. We are God's children too. We are God's children. But what I'm learning, we don't all serve the same God. I had to remind myself, Lillie, you don't all serve the same God. You got to realize that. Whether the Black and brown want to just prosper and love, some of my racist Caucasian people don't walk in love. They continue to walk in hate because they gather that and garnish that from their ancestors. So more lies from T-Rump and taking credit for what President Barack Obama and President Joe Biden has done. He's still taking credit for things that he did not do. I don't understand this buffoon. I don't.
Try to take credit for the Biden economy. Don't be fooled. In 2017, Trump inherited a strong economy from President Obama and never stopped congratulating himself for it.
We built the greatest economy in the history of the world.
The devil is a liar.
Economy with his trade wars and botched pandemic response. Now Trump has inherited an even stronger economy. Under Biden, over 16 million jobs were created, more than during any single presidential term on record. Unemployment was a low 4.1% at the end of Biden's term, and wages were rising. Under Biden, the American economy grew faster than the rest of the world's, and faster than the pre-pandemic Trump economy. Yes, the United States and every other country had to deal with inflation, but Biden brought inflation down below 3%, lower than most other countries. Americans have every reason to be outraged at decades of policies that prioritized corporations over people. But the Biden administration cracked down on corporate price gouging, monopolization, and trickle-down nonsense. Some of the most important Biden initiatives will only start to pay off during the Trump presidency, assuming Trump doesn't reverse them. The Biden administration took on big pharma by capping out-of-pocket drug costs for millions of seniors on Medicare and lowered the price of 64 drugs, changes that will take place throughout 2025. And more drugs are scheduled to get cheaper in the following years. Biden's infrastructure law will give us better roads, bridges, public transit, and broadband access. The CHIPS and Science Act will provide more American-made semiconductors. Biden's clean energy initiatives will pay off in the future with greater fuel efficiency and less pollution. His whole life, Trump has taken credit for things he simply inherited, starting with his own personal fortune. If he doesn't wreck the economy with his crazy tariff plans or cruel mass deportations, you can be sure he will yet again take credit for something other people built. Don't let him.
I agree. We cannot keep allowing Donald Trump to do the things he's done. And as he stated, he has always been this way from his childhood, from bullying his brother. Trump will bully his other brother. I think his brother was named Fred as well, if I'm not mistaken. And his family member, Mary, Dr. Mary Trump, she wrote a book about it. Donald Trump been this way all his life. So don't think that he just begun with this. No, he's been this big bully all his life. He has taken credit from everybody, from his niece, from his brother. He just keep going on and on with it, and MAGA doesn't find anything wrong with it because they too are corrupted. Corruption likes corruption. Donald Trump has 34 felonies, and they're okay with it. So they voted him in again, and they're suffering just as much as anybody else. They just don't want to own up to it. They don't want to. But we see and we know. So, Queen VP Kamala Harris, she tried to tell the American people that Trump would be a danger to America. But as long as they thought it was just going to hurt black and brown people, it was okay. They thought it was only going to hurt black and brown, so they was okay with it. But now it's hurting them too. They're biting their fingers. They biting their fingers, biting their fists, because they want to scream and yell, but they don't want us to know they're suffering. But we know. She tried to warn us.
This picture, know that I'm telling you, I fucking told you so.
Understand, what we are in fact witnessing is a high velocity event where a vessel is being used for the swift implementation of an agenda that has been decades in the making.
Decades in the fucking making.
An agenda.
Project
to
2025.
slash public education.
Come on.
An agenda to shrink government and then privatize its services.
Come on.
All while giving tax breaks to the wealthiest among us.
Okay.
And it's certainly true of those tariffs. Tariffs that, as I predicted, are clearly inviting a recession.
Talk your shit, queen.
Talk your shit, queen.
To detain and disappear American citizens or anyone without due process.
Come on, Garcia.
The courage of judges to uphold the rule of law in the face of those who would jail them.
Judge Dugan.
And I have been inspired by the movements like the one in Wisconsin that put Susan Crawford on the Supreme Court.
Come on.
And by leaders across the spectrum, including congressional leaders like Cory Booker, Chris Van Hollen, Chris Murphy, Jasmine Crockett, Maxwell Cross, AOC, and Bernie Sanders.
Look at how she ate that, giving props to people like Cory Booker, who spent 25 hours on the floor, breaking the record for the longest Senate speech, talking about how Elon Musk and Donald Trump were cutting Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, education funding, and food stamps. Giving props to Senator Chris Van Hollen, who pulled up to El Salvador to see what was going on with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Giving props to our queen, Jasmine Crockett, who's always doing the work and told Elon Musk to fuck off. Giving props to Bernie Sanders and AOC for their Fight the Oligarchy tour, going into these Republican-ass districts and telling the people about what the fuck is going on in Washington. The Uniter-in-Chief, Kamala Debbie Harris, motherfuckers. If I send you this picture, know that I'm telling you, I fucking told you.
She warned us. She warned us. But a vast majority of our beautiful Caucasian people, because it was a black woman, they didn't want to listen, whether she was highly educated or not, overqualified and all. Donald Trump doesn't have the qualifications nor the brain or the bandwidth to do what he's doing. but he know how to con. He's been doing it since he was a kid. He would con people to do his homework. But when it came down to taking tests, he could never pass them because he never did the homework. Homework is important. It's important. Research is important. Don't be a dummy like Trump. His GPA is 1.28. That's a dummy. So another subliminal message, because I'm going to give y'all subliminal messages because I'm getting y'all ready for June 14th. That's his birthday celebration, this big parade that he said he's having. Well, we're going to celebrate who? President Barack Obama on June the 14th. That's Donald Trump's birthday. And we won't be celebrating Donald Trump. No, we won't. We're going to be celebrating President Barack Obama. And the Pope is having a big celebration on that day, too. So Donald Trump is not going to get a lot of airplay like you think. He's not going to get much of anybody's attention but the snagger-tooths and the pot bellies. That's what he will be getting.
Clinton may be the most corrupt person ever to seek the presidency. Saudi Arabia giving $25 million. Qatar. These are people that push gays off business, off buildings. These are people that kill women and treat women horribly. And yet you take their money. Some people say, oh, you shouldn't accept gifts for the country. My attitude is, why wouldn't I accept a gift? The nation of Qatar, unfortunately, has historically been a funder of terrorism at a very high level. I think it's a great gesture from Qatar. I appreciate it very much. And I could be a stupid person and say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane.
You know, the difference between us and Hunter is when my father became commander-in-chief of this country, we got out of all international business. Our partners, Doris,
the lies they tell.
Oman, that's spectacular. 2 in Riyadh, in Saudi Arabia.
The Trumps are big compulsive liars.
And several others around the world that we haven't even announced. We became the most canceled people in the world, all because we're associated with politics in the United States. Cryptocurrency, and certainly our venture into cryptocurrency, is going to make the big banks regret that. I wish my name was Hunter Biden. I could go abroad, make millions off of my father's presidency. I'd be a really rich guy. It would be incredible.
I think it's an incredible thing, and a lot's going to change in the very near future. And I think my father's administration is going to try to do that.
Your father's administration are nothing but
not
crimes.
just Bitcoin, but across the board. I see just a lot of incredible opportunity.
Hillary Clinton may be the most corrupt person ever.
I get so tired of hearing his voice. I can't even stand to see this monkey's face. I get tired of Donald Trump. I hate the way that he looked. I hate the way that he sound. I hate the way he dressed. I hate he wear a pissy depends. I don't like this man. So just imagine I'm covering him every day. I have to get prayed up because talking about Donald Trump is like a curse on your life. So Trump will bankrupt America. One moment.
What do you need to see in this bill to be on board?
The problem is it's asking conservatives like myself to raise the debt ceiling $5 trillion. That's historic. No one's ever raised the debt ceiling that much. It will be a record for Congress to raise the debt $5 trillion. But also it indicates that this year the deficit will be over $2 trillion. But it means they're anticipating close to $3 trillion for the next year. It's really a slap in the face at those of us who are excited about Elon Musk and Doge and all the cuts. Where are the cuts? If the cuts are real, why are we going to borrow $5 trillion?
What do you need to see in this bill to be on board?
The problem is it's asking conservatives like myself to raise the debt ceiling $5 trillion. That's it.
I showed y'all a comparison chart that was done, and they compared Donald Trump, how much President Joe Biden had raised the debt ceiling, and Donald Trump. But Donald Trump want to add $5 trillion to what he had already caused from his previous time. And when President Joe Biden didn't raise it a house, so he want to add $5 trillion more to the debt. America's credit right now is bad. We don't need to do that. America has bad credit right now. We got bad credit because of Donald J. Trump. We will be in bankruptcy. He don't care. He was in bankruptcy 6 times. This man don't care about America. He only wants to enrich his pockets and his billionaire friends' pockets. and his son to lie and say that Hunter Biden was getting rich off of the presidency. Well, honey, what your daddy doing, honey? What you think your papa doing with a big gut, wild like an old lady? Y'all all gotten rich from his presidency. So Trump says, F all the other branches, I am king, hear me roar. He really thinks he can run the world. The man who wears a diaper. All right.
And also reestablishes the longstanding norm that only the president or the attorney general can speak for the United States. He said, F all the other branches. Stating an opinion as to what the law is.
If you believe it is the job of the president and the attorney general to be the only ones to have an opinion and the only ones to be able to interpret the law in this country, you failed every government class you ever took. That is the job of the judges and the judicial branch, and has never been the job of the president or the AG, no matter what the president or his little crony says. 3 branches of government: executive, president, AG falls under that. Judicial, judges, legislative, Congress. Those 3 are meant to be separate but equal to prevent an authoritarian rule, to have checks and balances in our government, to prevent some psychopath from taking over the country.
And also reestablishes the longstanding norm that only the president.
Donald Trump thinks that he is a judicial branch. He's all 3 branches. He don't care about what anybody said. That's why he's been passing all these bills. And the president is not over the purse. Congress is. So he just, even Congress, you know, they have the House, the Republican MAGAs have the House, but he's not even going through none of that. They let him do whatever he want to do. And that is not how America is ran. He's treating the White House, the Oval Office, like death row. He's a thug in the White House. What I told you is a trap house. Crime mob. So anyway, we told y'all that Trump wasn't giving anyone $5,000, which I remember MAGA put something in my chat about they're going to be getting a $5,000 check. Boo. It ain't happening. It won't happen. So let the violins play.
Breaking news, Trump says cancel the $5,000 stimulus check you were supposed to get just as the House of Representatives was still debating handing out stimulus checks. A statement from the White House put a direct end to hope. Trump has officially called off the $5,000 stimulus rebate checks for every American that were scheduled to be handed out in May. The money, which had been planned to be distributed by the Treasury Department as a hedge against inflationary pressures and the soaring cost of living, has now been labeled by Trump as an irresponsible feeding of the economy. His reasoning,
but he sure gave Elon Musk billions of dollars.
Americans need jobs, not welfare. But this isn't a simple policy adjustment. This is a decision that is in direct collision with the lives of tens of millions of families. Do you have any idea what this $5,000 means to how many people? It's 3 months' rent, a respite from first aid bills, a child's tuition for the next semester. Now it's nothing. Leave your thoughts in the comment section before your wallet is completely forgotten.
See, us Dems, we've been knew that Donnie wasn't going to be giving out any money. But because MAGA is slow, they believe that Elon Musk is going to do some miracle after he don't collect his, what, $4.5 billion? You really thought that Elon Musk was going to give you something? Elon don't care about you. Him and Donnie don't like the poor. They liked you just for your votes. But as he stated, the election was rigged anyway. He was going to win because it was rigged. And he thanked his buddy Elon for knowing those voter machines. There's no power in your hand, MAGA. You're just a pawn in Donnie's hand. So, but I was told that Doge was the most transparent department in U.S. history. Okay. So this is from Politico. Trump administration asks Supreme Court to keep Doge records secret. Why? Why do they want to keep a secret? Why would they want to do that? Because they don't want us to know the truth. There was never any corruption. There was never, because they didn't find any fraud. But what they did, they found money to put in their pockets and cut out all your benefits that would help you and your loved ones. But the whole time, Elon made y'all think you was going to get $5,000 in May. It's now June. And Donnie said, you ain't getting it. He cares nothing about you. So this guy, he's gonna tell you a little thing about Donnie lies, okay? Just a moment.
Breaking news. Trump says trillions of dollars are pouring into the U.S. because of his tariffs. But here's what he's not telling you. President Trump just posted this on Truth Social. In just 3 months, trillions of dollars and record numbers of jobs have been pouring into the USA.
That's a lie.
This is because of my tariff policy and our great November 5th election win. Sounds impressive, right? Except there's just one problem. There's literally no data backing any of it up. So let's break this down. First, tariffs are taxes. They're paid by American importers, not China. So any money pouring in is coming out of our own pockets. Second, the U.S. ports are shutting down right now. Not a single cargo ship from China is bound for California's biggest port. The port of Los Angeles is completely empty. Officials say they haven't seen this since COVID. Third, we are not in a hiring boom. Retailers, shipping companies, and manufacturers are already laying people off. If this is a financial revolution, where are the jobs? Final point, if trillions were actually pouring in, the White House would have receipts, but they don't, because this is, again, a political stunt, not an economic reality. But follow me on my Instagram and Substack and post everything there.
It's a political stunt and a lie, just like the $5,000 that Elon Musk and Donald Trump said you was going to be getting. Because they was going to find out this fraud, remember? And that's where the money was going to come from. Really, MAGA? Let me see that bread you got. Where your 5,000 at? You said you was going to get. You kept saying it in my chat. You was going to be getting that bread, baby. Show me your dinero. Show me. So Trump, with his ludicrous reverse psychology, he's trying to use on black people. We don't like you, Trump. You are poison to the American people. There's a genocide against black people.
African Americans built this nation. We built this thing. You know, you're just starting.
He's trying reverse psychology.
Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get. You built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it, bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right?
He ain't telling us something we don't know.
What's insidious about watching that clip is that he's currently assaulting all the funding and research that backs Black history, as well as making sure he's reading it out the classroom. We already know Black history was one of the electives and not part of core credit. You know what I'm saying? Not part of the core credits. But now he's trying to even further marginalize it and make it what's criminalized. Then him using the word that we were just starting to get the credit for how we built this country at the same time. He's trying to trivialize how a lot of us are most of the times overqualified for positions. You feel me? They say that we are unqualified, that we have no credit, that we are mediocre. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, was hooting and hollering, chucking and jiving for our vote and saying that we were finally starting to get credit for how we built this country. You've made it illegal for us to teach the history of how we built this country. Education is elevation.
I tell you, education is motivation. And that's why Kamala Harris have all her degrees. And she has things that Donnie doesn't have. Her doctorate and all. Doctorate. Dr. Jill Biden. Melania Trump. Come on, show me what you got, Melania. What you got, Melania Trump? Two big dummies. You got a Carmen and a hoe. Donnie a hoe too, because he slept with so many women. He had so many wives. He a hoe too. It's that simple. Donnie is a hoe too. So anyway, I'm gonna show you something, and this is about Donald Trump and his administration, how corrupt they are, and we're gonna be getting up out of here soon.
Mr. President, the Trump administration is corrupt. It is easily the single most corrupt and lawless administration in American history. And it would be exceedingly difficult to debate that